Namaste, and welcome to the new Soul Super Horoscope, or you can say the Soul Horoscope SUPERscope, or you can say the SUPERscope. My name is Christopher Witecki. I'm your basically your soul biographer, and I call myself a modern mystic. What I'm here to do is help you find your story and help you find your spirituality. And I use astrology and numerology and several other tools, including being a psychic myself, to help people find their truth and help you navigate it for yourself. So this is for Scorpios, and you're also something new in this horoscope. You're now called a step zero, because that's what you are. You roll zero. Isn't that interesting? You know, the hide behind the information. Ever wonder how you do? How you do it? It's from the ability to create a boundary on the fly in reality. And that is the power of zero. So a Scorpio standing next to someone else makes them a 10 or a 20 or a 30 or a 40. Whenever a Scorpio stands in front of someone, they put a barrier between them and someone else. So zero is your hero. You are the hero with zero. And the question is, where are your zeros with you? That's what the big question is. So as we start to talk about Scorpios, you know, you're going through a Saturn transit, and really this is a turning point, because this is the point when you can change your mind. In fact, this week I think the Scorpios are going to change their mind about something. And I think what you're changing your mind about is what your heart wants. And I think that's because your heart is starting to heal. I think your heart has had a lot of wounds. Any Scorpio that's alive on the planet that was alive during the 80s had incredible wounds. And so those are childhood wounds, those are 20s and your 30s and your 40s, whatever. But those were painful. Pluto was in Scorpio. So this is a forgiving and forgetting, a letting go of the wounds, a letting go of the past. And with Saturn in Scorpio, a putting down of the sword, you know, and saying enough is enough. You know, I'd rather live to fight another day, you know. It's only you that can decide that the war is over with the world and whatnot. And that's not to say that you won't continue to see the world betraying circles. You know, every time you see a boundary, you see people disrespect it, you are very aware of the zeros on Earth. You're always looking at the zeros, always looking at what's there. Zero is a space holder for something. And that's what Scorpios want to find out, is what space is it holding for? You know, what is it holding? So for Scorpios right now in Capricorn, it's about changing your mind. And there's another opposition, which is Uranus and with Mars. And this opposition is really tugging and pulling on me too, because I'm a Taurus. And as a result, it's ultimately giving us a struggle between faith and reality. In your case, you're ready to have faith, but your reality sucks. In my case, my reality could be good, but I'm trying to change it. So we're opposites, Taurus and Scorpio. And my point is this. In the Scorpio's sake, you're being forced, unfortunately, to innovate the way you plug into the moment. You have to change, says Uranus and Aries, the way you plug into the moment. And how do you plug into the moment? Do you plug in angry? Is it raining all the time? Is it sunny in your world? What's it like to walk a mile in your shoes? That's the real question for the Scorpions. And if the answer is you're unhappy, then the next person I look to is the mind. Perhaps the mind is setting us up every day to be unhappy. That's what Sun and Pluto and Capricorn are all working on for Scorpios and Scorpio risings, is that your mind is setting you up for failure, that your mind is setting you up to trip over the day, that your mind is warning you ahead of time that it's going to be a bad day, and then your mind is making sure that that is handled perfectly. Because you have Capricorn energy in your mind, which means your mind will perfectly play out bullshit or perfectly play out peace. But it'll be perfect, because you're a Scorpio. Or a Scorpio rising. So you like to be perfect. And you like, perfection is, you know, like I think of perfection more like from a scalpel perspective. This is where that Capricorn energy in the third house, the house of thinking, is what makes Scorpios lethal. Scorpios can be lethal because they can be cold with their decisions. But the question is, where are you being cold to yourself? Where are you abusing your power to be cold? So I call you the royal executioner. You're the one that are willing to, like, you know, pull the lever to end it for others, for anything, to end the program, to end this, to end what has to happen, because you're willing to draw a circle around and say it's over because you said so. But what gives you that strength to say it's over? Well, it's that remarkable, decisive mind. So in other words, you have to innovate the moment to be happy, but your mind needs to make a new decision that you want to be happy. And then once you decide you want to be happy, then your mind can't think anything else but happiness. There's no gray about it when you're a Scorpio. It's black and white. You're either happy or you're not. But what's interesting is the universe is saying to Scorpios and Scorpio risings, you're out of time. You have to say you're happy now. And then basically just grin and bear it for a few minutes. That's what I'm predicting in my horoscopes, right? Just a few minutes though. Don't worry, you had no problem pushing me in the pool. I know that. Every Scorpio I know is like, see, you'll be fine. So I'm being so nice. I'm making a pretty horoscope to help you. All right, so here we go. We're into the week. The moon is in your inner child. Your inner child is really, really pissy Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's to make you very aware of what you really want. On Monday and Tuesday, the moon moves into Aries, and so Scorpios are hyper aware. Your body could go down the tubes if you're not taking care of yourself. And ultimately, in that hyper awareness, Spirit does come to help. And on Wednesday, you need to make a decision about your thinking. Are you going to be happy or not? And it's time to decide. Are you going to be or not? And it's a decision in the head. It begins in the mind, because remember, thoughts become things if you watch The Secret. So you have to decide this is what you want, and you have to take action, which means on Thursday you have to implement that decision. Now what happens is you have to implement it with yourself first, because the moon moves into Taurus, and then you have to implement it with your relationships, your partnerships, your marriages, your marriages. And what this does is this is the moon opposing the sun, and opposing Saturn. And so there'll be a tug of war Thursday and Friday between your own personal strength and where you draw your own lines, and a tug of war with personal relationships, marriage, partnerships, alignments. So this will pull you into that. So what you're deciding is your attitude, and then as soon as you decide your attitude, God pushes you in the pool. I'm just saying. It's not me. Just saying. Then Friday, oops, I want my rainforest back. I know I need to make that loop longer. I know, but priorities, right? Way to get back on the air. So Friday, you're loving and trusting that you're manifesting what you want. And Saturday, you are holding space, but you're very vulnerable on Saturday. So that's kind of a nutshell of the turning points this week. But really, he said, I want to show you something about consciousness. Now, consciousness is built on a staircase of consciousness. In fact, it's a stairway to heaven. But as my sensei says, the road to heaven is single file. We meet our friends and family on the other side. And that's true, we do, which means we must complete these 12 steps in order for us to live in fulfillment. And we must complete these 12 steps in the moment. We must be all signs in the moment. Now, you're step 0, which means you are actually the first step, but you're hidden, the hidden first step. And see, that's the little secret that Scorpios know and they don't share with anyone, is they know that they are just one step ahead, one half step behind you, one half step moment ready to stab you if we found out you were bad. Scorpios always stay just one step back from whatever is like the normal, right? Step 0, just take a step 0. I don't exist, says a Scorpio. I'm not here, says a Scorpio. We're like, whatever, Scorpio, hello. So the point is, some Scorpios will open up that step 0 and they'll walk all the way to 11 and they won't think twice. And see, that eye protect has to go all the way around. See this purple and blue circle? You have to have an eye protect that goes all the way around all the steps, not just protecting for the sake of protecting at step 0 alone. You got to protect your love and your feelings and your beliefs. So you got to stretch wide open when you're a Scorpio to live happy in the step 0. But you know how it is. If a Scorpio or a Scorpio rising gets pissed, everyone is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Nobody wants to get stung by the stinger, the god-awful truth in our face, right? So, it goes both ways. The universe helps you, gives you a weapon to protect yourself. I'm allowing myself to drink in horoscopes now because this is 9 minutes and counting. And I don't know if you can talk for 9 minutes straight, but this is me being nice to myself now. And you guys probably don't mind. All right, so now we're going to move into the PLUR reality of all of this, which is the new approach I have that I've adopted from the, frankly, raver culture and party culture, because one beautiful gem that came out of it was PLUR. What is PLUR? PLUR is peace, love, unity, and respect. It's a very simple mantra of 4 principles, but applying astrology to these principles I think is profound, and I think we want to live and be powered by PLUR. And PLURs allow everything to be nice and fuzzy and just kind of happy in your life. And really it is the approach to living in peace. It has nothing to do with narcotics or drugs. It has to do with this approach. And you're going to see how I predict the PLUR for the Scorpios. Now, first is peace. How do you live in peace? Well, I've said it. For one, I think what's disrupting the peace in Scorpios are their thoughts. I think what's disrupting the peace in Scorpios are their daily lifestyle and the binds they find themselves in. I think what's disrupting Scorpios' peace on the inside is their lack of faith. And lack of faith is a lack of credit. So you can go, oh, I have faith. Oh, really? But you're living in stress. So if you're living in stress, your faith isn't good for anything, is it? Faith is that you go, oh, it says it's okay, so therefore it is. Therefore I decide, the mind, to live in the moment in peace because the statistics tell me it'll be okay. So when your inner verse is in peace, your outer verse is in peace. All the Scorpios I know are telling me, my world is in chaos. I mean, well, then your inner verse is in chaos. There's no way around it. This is how manifestation works. If everything is inside the zero is in chaos, everything outside the zero is, by law of attraction, chaos. So inner verse peace for Scorpios, decide that you have faith and force it upon your moment. That's my prediction and what I think is necessary. And this will allow you to believe over time. Love, my favorite. Love, love. I love love. Everyone loves love. Notice that love comes after peace. We find peace, then love. We don't expect love to bring us peace. Wow. Wow. We don't expect love to bring us peace. Why? We want to bring peace to love, not expect love to bring us peace. So when our boyfriend or our girlfriend loves us, they're not here to make us peaceful. We want to be peace, then love, then unity, then respect. Okay, so love is that we've already brought ourselves to peace, and then in our inner verse, we pump it with love, 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 love. How do you pump your inner verse with love? You do things you love. If you love crocheting, you do it. If you love it, your heart fills with love. If you're chewing gum and crocheting and just like living the dream, then you're filling your heart, you're filling your well with love. Everyone has to fill the heart with love. Everyone is always making withdrawals from that ATM of love, like womp, 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 womp. Gotta love my hamster, gotta love my car, gotta love my this, gotta love my that. So we're always making withdrawals. How much deposits do you make? And how many do you make on your own? Not a family member, not someone else. How many of your own self-deposits do you make? I mean, seriously, look at it as a deposit. You know, you look at love as a deposit because it is the actual spiritual currency of the universe. So it's like, if you're not making love deposits on your own, if you really expect that the deposit's going to come from that person who you've been depositing to, first of all, you're getting your own cash back anyways. So that's a missed loop, right? We want to share when we are abundant with love. That means I got so much love, I don't know what to do with it. That's when it's time to hug somebody, right? So when you fill your inner verse with love, your outer verse will bring people who are filled with love. People around you are not filled with love. That's because they are attracted to someone who's not filled with love. You're not filled with love because you're giving love, but they're not filled with love because whatever. Doesn't matter why someone's not filled with love. This is the nature of the universe, right? So unity. Now after peace, love, and comes unity, right? Unity is uniting your inner states of awareness. Are you on your team? Is your mind bickering with your heart? So this goes back to Pluto and Capricorn, the Sun in Capricorn. I think if I were to play like a radio, most of Scorpio's conversations in their head, it would be, first of all, profane. Second of all, pretty intense. I think pretty harsh, maybe pretty mean to the self. And so that is not a unity inside of you. That is not a nation, one nation under your inner child God, right? Indivisible. It's like we talk about being in unity in the United States. When we stand at allegiance, but we don't feel unionized inside of us. Our parents are fighting and we can't eat or whatever, right? So we must live in a total inner-verse unity, and then we can expect to find it outside of ourselves through law of attraction or through the powers of the one. Respect. Now, respect is the one thing I don't got to lecture Scorpios about. Respect, you get actually my respect in this one, because you're the only one that respects boundaries. The only one. Which is when I look at a Scorpio, they kind of eye me up and down like every other Scorpio does, and they see my potential for disrespecting. It's huge. It's huge. I'm sure I'm sized up on the Scorpio radar as dangerous and under high suspect. But then once they get to know me over time and they see that I actually do pretty much respect boundaries, pretty much as in sometimes I step on feet and stuff, then they learn to, we learn, Taurus and Scorpion. This is, I think, the bull accidentally stepping on the scorpion in the bullpen. And then you sting us, and then we hate you, and then, it's a relationship of equality despite the size. So respect is that if you say you're not going to do it, don't do it. If you say you're not going to tell her again, don't tell her again. If you say you're not going to save his job, don't save it. Respect your own innerverse and the decisions you've made and your own boundaries if you ever expect us to respect you. So you know this already. You just need reminded. And you need reminded because Saturn's in Scorpio and you're going through a Saturn transit. This is what you get 15 years ago when you were doing this shit to me. So every one of you is like, which one is he talking to? Yeah, you know you. So respect yourself, innerverse, and respect your innerverse. Okay, so now on to the show. Soulmar.me is where you can respect me. I don't write this stuff, seriously. No, but if you want a video, seriously, the Megascope is available for $11.11, and you can download it immediately. This will give you a foresight in the future, and it looks at horoscopes a little differently than this does. I'm not using the PLUR approach in the Megas. I'm using just pure astrology there for the people who are diehard. So if you want diehard astrology, Megascope is the scope for you. It's $11.11. If you want a reading with me, it's now only $99, and you'll get a 15-minute follow-up during the course of this same year. So come on down to soulmart.me for that. You can book both of them immediately. And then lastly, for you ladies out there, we are creating a new service called GA Venus. And if you'd like a free trial, come on to gavenus.com. It's not for men. It is a girls only, basically protection agency. Seriously, something I've been envisioning for a long time, and because we need to focus on girls or boys, I'm like, girls, obviously. If we have to choose one, we choose this one, and that's just because of resources. So come on down, you get a free week trial, and tell us what you think. I'm doing this just to see who likes it and who doesn't. But a lot of people who were in Soul Garden before, like people on camera, will be in this new GA Venus brand and service, and we're going to make it sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. So I look forward to working with all of you. All right, that's all I got for this week. Step 0. 0 is my hero. You make everyone, you always add 10 at least, right? And I'll see you in 7 days with more Scorpio. Good luck with all, and live, love, be.